What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal Thursday team here today. You have myself, Alpha Dog Bets, here with JD from Line Movers, and we have Hefe from Hefe Picks. JD, over to you. How are you today, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Trying to get this show shared out. Yes, Joe. Cavs. That was a easy one for us there.
Let's go, Joe. Nailed that. Happy as hell. We were all on that Cavs play yesterday. JD, I do have to say, shout out to our guy Jammer. You know, we were hoping that Knicks Nuggets game was a little bit closer for him to get his spread, but I tried telling him, brother. The New York Knicks are red hot right now. Big performance by the Knicks yesterday. We did hit our Profit X play of the day, which is the Cavaliers. That's why Joseph is posting that as well. So big day for the squad yesterday. We'll go over a full recap in just a minute. I do apologize. I got a little excited there. Hefe, how are you today, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Another Thursday edition show here. Yeah, man. Excited to talk about yesterday and get into a little bit of today, too.
Good way to segue us right into our recap from yesterday. I will start. We hit my best bet of the day, which was the Cavaliers. I told you they're currently 7.5. It was bouncing around 6.5 to 7 to 7.5, whatever in that range you got. You were very happy. The Cavs won by 20. I also had the Knicks overall yesterday. I did go 4-1, so a big profitable day for us. JD, how'd you do yesterday?
On the show, let me see. We played that Suns game over. That one hit. That again, man. That line to me just didn't make any sense. And we gave it out at 2:18, and then I think and then I think by game time it closed 2:22. Yeah. So that was a big move there. Like I said, that line to me was just weird. But besides that, I didn't really have a very good day. I was actually definitely a little bit down. So today I'm looking to have a nice bounce back.
Hell yeah, brother. Big bounce back day for you today. Hefe, how did you do yesterday?
I'm nervous to even say this out loud, but I had a perfect day. 6-0.
Wow. Let's go.
3-0 in NBA, 3-0 in college basketball. College basketball, we got really, really, really lucky on Texas Tech minus 13.5. They won by 14. We just read Houston really well, minus 8.5. The game was really never close. And we took the Terps at home minus 5.5 in a game that I thought was a good sharp side for us. NBA, Knicks money line, Wolves money line, and we also hit the Cavs on the spread.
Big day for the Hefe squad. Love to hear that. Well, let's repeat that today, gentlemen. You ready to dive into today's slate? We're going to start with a little college hoops action.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, boys. 1 second here to get that. We have to have the transition, but unfortunately the football one is at the top. So let me find the basketball. Here we go. And college hoops. We're starting off with a Big Ten matchup. We're going to Ohio State taking on Penn State. Ohio State's coming in 12-8 on the year. They are 4-5 in conference, taking on a Nittany Lions team that is 13-8 on the year and 3-7 in conference. Penn State, losers of 4 of their last 5. Their only win was over Rutgers in the last 5 games, which honestly Rutgers should have won that. So they've been on a pretty bad stretch as of late. Ohio State, on the other side, winners of 2 consecutive, including winning a game at Purdue, which is an awfully impossible place to win. Big win for Ohio State there. And they won at home against Iowa by 17. JD, you are the college hoops master. What do you like in this game?
You know, to me, just actually looking at this game, this is a total Penn State spot here. The line is definitely showing us that. And the line's moving. And guys, this is why it's good to be in VIP, because we've already locked in Penn State and that line is gone now. And actually, it's just showtime. So I mean, the lines really do move actually that fast.
Yep.
So you just gotta lock these in.
100% agree.
But anyway, as far as the actual game though, as far as Penn State, I think the last 7 games, I think they're 1-6. So you're like, damn, they're really not playing well. But then when you look at who they've played and then what they've lost by, these are good teams that they've been playing. And actually, most of them have actually been road games. and actually like they have hung in there. Matter of fact, I think they've covered 5 straight or 6 straight now.
Yep. I think it's 5 exactly. All their losses are within 5 points, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like they're playing really good teams, and then actually like that's on the road too.
Yep.
And they are staying right like in these games. I just think this is a Penn State spot. They definitely need this win. They're actually back home. To me, everything points actually they're actually way here. And as far as the market, they definitely think so too, because this line just keeps going up.
Yeah, Ace Baldwin is quite the player for Penn State, their point guard. He can pull up from basically anywhere on the court and bang a 3 home. I love this Penn State team. But when you take a look at how they're doing in conference and you take a look at the Big Ten as a whole and in general, so this is the first year that every team in the Big Ten is not going to make the Big Ten tournament. So a lot of teams that are on the bottom tier of the Big Ten are fighting to get their spot, not for the NCAA tournament, but they're just trying to get into the big tournament to start. And right now,
how many
Penn
teams
State,
make that?
I believe 4 do not. Let me double check.
It's a really interesting. It's a really interesting thing you just said. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so it's the first time this has happened. It's this year. Hold on, Big Ten tournament teams that do not make.
So because of the expansion, now there's not going to be that last place team that just
bottom 3. Bottom 3 do not make it. So that's the big deal right now with the Big Ten. A lot of these bottom teams. And if Penn State loses this game, guys, they go from 6th to last in the Big Ten to 3rd to last. It would put them in the first spot of not getting in the Big Ten tournament. This is a big game for them. They're at home, and they do need it. They are a better home team as well, and their crowd should be there in full effect tonight. They should have a big audience, and I do expect them to win this one handedly. Ohio State's a very good team, but they have a little room to wiggle with to still make the Big Ten tournament, and Penn State does not. So this is an absolute must-win game for them. I think they get it done as well. Right now, the line is at 3.5. So give me Penn State minus 3.5. I definitely am all over that play. Hefe, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I'm looking at Penn State's home and away splits. 10-2 at home, 1-5 on the road.
Yep.
Just seem like when they're away from Happy Valley, they're a different team.
Yep.
So I know Ohio State is on paper better team, better record,
Yes.
Better wins. And you look at the last little stretch, like JD said for Penn State, they're not winning, but they're staying in it. And there's a difference between staying in it on the road and staying in it at home. Get a little extra juice from that home crowd. Also, really good splits right now on where the money is coming in on, being that Penn State is just becoming more and more of a favorite. So this is one of those don't walk but run to take Penn State if you want to back Penn State, or absolutely wait until the last minute if you want to back Ohio State. But I'm rolling with the Nittany Lions.
All right, boys, a 3-way tag team on this one. We're either going to all be happy when we see this one end at about 8:30 tonight. This is the early game. So if you guys like this, remember, it starts at 6:30. It's the one of the earliest games of the day. So don't wait too long. I do think the line is going to keep going more and more towards Penn State. So lock it in now, like Hefe said, if you do like that play. Let's keep it moving, fellas. Second game we're breaking down today is another Big Ten game. It's going to be the Oregon Ducks, 16th ranked in the nation, coming in 16-4. They're 5-4 in conference, though. So all their losses have been in Big Ten play. Welcome to the Big Ten, Oregon. UCLA, 15-6, another expansion team that's been added to the Big Ten. They are, like I said, 15-6, and they are 6-4 in conference. Guys, is anyone a little bit surprised that UCLA is the favorite here, considering how good Oregon's been? They're 16-4. They're ranked in the top 20. However, UCLA has had a resurgence after the coach called them out, saying he cared about the season more than his players. Since that has happened, the team has essentially not lost. They have won 4 games in a row. Their last loss was to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. So, yes, JD, over to you. What do you like in Oregon, UCLA tonight?
You know, this is a game I don't have a play on yet, and I kind of just want to, talk this one out. Because these are two teams that throughout the season so far haven't been able to really get right.
Which is weird to say about the 16th ranked team in the nation in Oregon, right?
Yes. But like you said, as far as the coach actually called their team out, I think that was before the actual Rutgers game.
It was before the Rutgers
game. And they
right.
still lost that game because I believe I was on them then because I was like, okay, shit, this is going to be their game. Yep. And it still was not. But actually, like you said, since then they've been playing well. And one thing that I've noticed about them, as far as their defense, I mean, it is good. it's not as good as it has been in the past. And I think to start the season, they were trying to focus on that more.
Yes.
And if you've noticed these like past like 4 games that they've won, they've started to play a little bit faster, and they've started to score a lot more. And I mean, like, that's like starting to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then on the other side, I mean, actually, like, as far as actually like Oregon goes, like, they don't mind playing fast. I mean, like, pace is no problem there.
Yeah.
And anyway, as far as the number, I actually have this at UCLA at actually -4. So I'm not really far off here. And as far as the total, I'm spot on as far as that goes. But to me, just how the matchup is and how well like Oregon should actually be able to shoot the actual 3-ball here, this seems like it would be an over. Kind
I
of
like that. It's a low
kind
total.
of kind of like a sneaky one, but yeah, but actually like an over. So the side, like I said, I like really don't see any real value there, but the over, I am like close to actually playing that one though.
Hefe, thoughts?
I think this is a good sharp line on UCLA. I'm not gonna lie to you. Looking at, well, first of all, there's the whole aspect of Nick Cronin going off on his team, but if you really listen to what he said, what he went off on is the travel to the East Coast and kind of like the Midwest part of the country out there. He feels like the West Coast teams are the losers in the merger because they obviously have to travel further away to face these teams. Whatever. I'm not here to disagree or agree with that. I honestly think it's kind of a weird argument. They're
You
not
should
exactly,
shut up. They're the late team who joined basically an East Coast conference.
I
Yes,
know.
you're going to have to travel when you join a conference. With most
I'm not going to
schools
get into this whole
around the
argument.
East Coast.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into this argument. They're not exactly taking the bus to Nebraska. You know what I mean? They're flying very, very well, more comfortable than people like us.
Yes.
But I dug a little deeper. So I didn't go past the month of January. All their losses in the month of January, besides one home loss to Michigan, which is a good team, were teams in the Midwest or Far East when they traveled to face Rutgers, when they traveled to face Maryland, when they traveled to face Nebraska. This game's at home against an Oregon team that is 16th ranked, and rightfully so, but UCLA has won 4 games in a row. UCLA is 10-1 at Pauley Pavilion at home where this game is happening.
Yep.
And I think UCLA is playing their best basketball right now. It's home. There's no travel. Sleeping in their beds. Give me UCLA -4.5.
Man, I can't get that Minnesota game out of my head for Oregon. Oregon losing by 8 to a very lowly Minnesota game was a very bad look for this team. 2 games before that, they had a very bad performance against Purdue as well. And their most recent win was against Washington, who, let me give you a little spoiler on Washington. They are the number 1 team to not make the Big Ten tournament. They are 1-8 in conference. They are basically already out of making that. So they're a guaranteed bottom 3 team. Before that, their most recent win was Penn State. They won by 1 point over Penn State. We just went over how Penn State is also currently fighting out of the relegation zone at the bottom of the Big Ten. Their most recent win before that was Ohio State. They only won by 2. So, and that's another team that is not exactly in the top half of the Big Ten. So Oregon's had a lot of lackluster performances lately. Well, on the other side, UCLA, who went to USC and won. They played Washington as well. I just crapped on Washington, so I can't give them a high rating for that one. But they beat Wisconsin, who was just ranked. They beat Iowa at Iowa. So this team has done very well. I do think UCLA will continue that here. Give me the Bruins. Right now, the current line is 3.5, and that's exactly what I'm taking. These lines are all over the place today, but UCLA -3.5 is definitely going to be the play for me. JD, what do you think about that? What do you think about potentially taking UCLA here?
I mean, that's the only side that I would think about, and especially if the number's starting to go down. This is a side, if you like the actual UCLA side, I don't know if I would rush to bet it because I feel like Oregon, being that ranked team, I feel like that's going to be a very public side here. So that would be – I actually would probably wait.
Good advice there. It has dropped the full point, but it could drop even more. The public is going to hammer Oregon tonight. I have a good feeling about that. So we will see, but let's get a UCLA winner here. All right, fellas. There was a small slate in college basketball we're doing today, but we are going to go into a couple NBA games as well. You boys ready to do that?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, gentlemen. NBA action. And the first game we're going to be breaking down is going to be The Houston Rockets taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are returning back home where they've been fantastic this year. They're 19-5 at home and 31-16 overall. But going into Memphis, I apologize, is the Houston Rockets, who are 17-6 on the road. They were a better road team than they are a home team, and they're 32-14 on the year. These are two teams that are battling for the second and third seed in the Western Conference, and Houston, to me, has been the surprise of the season all season long. Couple injury notes to take in account for this one. Alperen Şengün and Steven Adams are game time decisions tonight. I'll tell you one thing. One of those guys has to play because they cannot be without both of their centers. On the other side, Ja Morant, game time decision. And then Vince Williams, Marcus Smart, who knows if he's still even a human being, and Cam Spencer all out for the Memphis Grizzlies. Hefe, the NBA GOAT, we're going over to you. What do you like in the Rockets versus the Grizzlies tonight in the Western Conference Showdown?
Normally, it's a really interesting spot with some. Grizzlies are, I believe, don't get me on that tangent. The last time we saw the Grizzlies was when they got absolutely ran off the freaking court by the Knicks. They had one of their worst offensive showdowns of the year, and they just looked like they kind of just wanted to go home, to be honest with you. They're home where they are one of the best teams in the league. They are actually, I believe, one of the best, if not the best, against the spread team in the league. The Grizzlies are. But they're welcoming a team here in the Houston Rockets that are the second best against the spread road team in the league. 4 wins in a row. And more impressive than any of that, they faced the Grizzlies 3 times this year, 2 times already in the month of January, and beat them all 3 times. This is the last matchup between these 2 teams until possibly the playoffs if they end up seeing each other.
Trivia. What is the record between these 2 teams this year? This is the 4th and final matchup.
You obviously don't listen to me.
3-0.
The Rockets are 3-0.
3-0. I just looked up the stats, so I apologize. But yes, 3-0.
3-0, including 2-0 this month.
No, I heard the whole thing.
I am not surprised about the line, and here's why. Alpha just alluded to it. With Şengün and Steven Adams questionable, who the hell is going to guard Jaren Jackson or Zach Edey? It's going to be hard. But I think one of those guys goes. I think Şengün probably gives it a go. I'm going to roll the Rockets. I got them still here at plus 5.5. I want to make sure to get that half because I can absolutely see the Grizzlies winning this game by 5 or fewer points.
Bad news. Line's dropped to 4.5. It's gone the other way.
I can totally see the Rockets losing this game by 4 or fewer points.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That being said, I'm all over the Rockets in this spot. I think we are going to see Şengün go. I do think Steven Adams will be able to go as well. And this Rockets team is just a team that doesn't quit. They battle all game, every game. It doesn't matter if they're down by 15. Doesn't matter if they're down by 20. Doesn't matter if they're down by 25. This team doesn't quit, and they continue to battle to the final whistle. Those are teams that I like to back. Let's take a look at the Rockets' most recent games. They beat the Hawks. Don't really care about that one. They beat the Celtics at Boston. They beat the Cavs in Cleveland, and then they beat the Cavs at home. So the last 3 or 4 games have gone against the 2 top teams in the Eastern Conference. I almost said the AL East. Jesus, I'm getting ready for baseball season. But in the Eastern Conference. So this team has been on fire. They do very well against good teams, and I anticipate that to continue here. When you take a look at the Grizzlies' most recent games, yes, they did lose to the Knicks. But before that, this team hasn't been really playing quality opponents. They beat the Utah Jazz, who are the Utah Jazz. They beat the New Orleans Pelicans, who have 12 wins of the year. They beat the Charlotte Hornets, who I don't even want to look at that team after yesterday's performance. They were my only loss. That team is terrible. And they beat the T-Wolves, who have been a team you don't know who you're going to get on any given night. So this Rockets team is consistent. They've been playing good teams and quality opponents. Give me the Rockets. I think they might even win this one outright.
Sorry, JD, before you go, I forgot to say my most important stat that's right in front of my face. The Rockets are the best underdog road team in the NBA. Literally the best against the spread. They're covering 75% of the games, 6-2-1 record. So when the Rockets are on the road against an opponent that Vegas thinks is better than them, they compete. And that's what I expect them to do tonight.
Jay Dizzle.
You know, this game kind of had me torn. Because as far as actually Houston goes, I mean, like, we've all been riding them. I mean, they've been
fun. It's been fun.
They actually really have. But, tonight's game, I believe it's their 4th game in 6 nights. There's actually road games. And then you have the Grizzlies team, who is the much more rested team coming in off of a just complete blowout loss to your Knicks. To me, this is such a Grizzlies spot. Like this just yeah, it's just such a Grizzlies spot. And I was gonna stay off. But this line is starting to come back down now. And if I can get it at under 5, I am gonna jump in on them.
I don't blame you there. These are two good teams, but we will see what happens. I'm glad at least we have some disparity on this game. So we have one that we do not agree with. So we will come back here and recap this one tomorrow and see which one of us got it right. Let's keep it moving, boys. Next game we're going to be breaking down, and the final breakdown of the day is going to be the Orlando Magic taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Guys, this Trailblazers team has been a money maker as of late. They're coming in off an impressive 13-point win at home as they hosted Damian Lillard and the Bucks. Guys, Damian Lillard is terrible when he goes back to Portland. These guys continue to beat them in those matchups, which I find very interesting. The Magic on the other side are on a bit of a down streak. They are losers of 4 of their last 5, and the last game was extremely disappointing if you are a Magic fan. They were up by 10 points with just a few minutes remaining over the lowly Miami Heat right now that have all the drama that the Heat have. They let them get back in the game, ended up going to overtime, had a chance to win it in the last possession of overtime. They didn't, went to a second overtime, and they got blown out by 6 in that second overtime. Do we think the Magic will have a bounce-back performance here against a team that they straight up should beat pretty handedly? They should have the majority of their guys in there. On the injury report, the only names we're looking for on the Magic right now are Gary Harris and Jalen Suggs, hoping Suggs can go. If Gary Harris can't go, not a huge deal in my opinion. On the other side, a guy that Hefe brought up the other day, a potential trade candidate, Jeremy Grant, is a game-time decision. He did get banged up in their last outing. All that being said, Hefe, we're going over to you. What do you like? Do you think the Magic can steal a game as 5.5-point favorites on the road on the West Coast?
It's tough. First thing that stands out to me is the Magic are an absolute horrible road team. Against the spread, they're the third worst. 9-15 against the spread on the road this year. This is a young team that obviously feeds off the home crowd, and traveling across the country to face a team that on paper is not a threat always gives me pause, especially for a young team that still, kind of has that mindset of, we don't even need to practice. We don't even need to shoot around. We can just walk in there and beat them. This is a absolute toss-up for me. I actually don't have a play here. I lean to the Blazers plus 5.5. That is not an official play. It will not be on my card. I can see this one going either way. This is a tough one because of where this game is and because of I don't know how up to the challenge the Magic want to be.
This is a big game for the Magic, guys. They are slipping in the standings. They're now a 500 ball club. They are 24-24. To me, this is a get-right game for this team. Pablo Banchero has just came back from injury. He's getting back in the lineup, getting accustomed to playing again, and Fran Wagner will be in there as well. So they're getting the bulk of their guys back. Guga Batadze was out for a while. If anybody knows me or followed me for years, you're going to know that I'm a big Goga Batadze fan. I think he has a very valuable role in the NBA, and he does a great job with this team. I just think the Magic will have too much size and too much speed in this game. They should be able to score, and I don't think that we will see another terrible performance from Paolo Banchero like we did last game from him. He is the reason they lost the Miami Heat in double overtime. Hate to say that, but the guy had 1 billion turnovers. He couldn't hit a single shot. He played absolutely horrendous. So I do expect a much better performance from him tonight, and I expect a much better performance from the Magic. They got to get going, guys. We're halfway through the season. We're about to be at the trade deadline, and they're a 500 ball club. That's terrible for how this team started the year. They were one of the best teams in the league in the early parts of the season. So I do think they will get it right. They are getting their stars back, and I expect a big performance from the Magic tonight. Despite what the comments are saying down there, I see you, Jay and J-Bo and Joel agreeing with the Blazers. It's the Magic. Let's see a big win from the Magic tonight. JD, over to you.
This game is priced like the Magic have all their guys back, which they basically do now. But they have their guys back and they're playing good ball. Well, we haven't seen that yet.
You're right.
So that's why, to me, this line is pretty crazy. Because I can't price them like that until they've started doing it. So actually, this may be that game where actually we see that.
You know what my question is about that, JD? The way I look at those situations, do you think Paolo Banchero is a good player?
Yes.
He's only been back for a game or two. So in my opinion, this is the game he is going to perform. So when I look at those situations of teams like that, I like to look individually of what I think about that guy and what I think about that team. And I think Paolo's a fantastic player, and I think he's one of the better players in the NBA. So he's the type of guy that I do like to back in these situations, but was curious if you like to look at it from an individual standpoint. If you really like a guy and you believe in that player, then you'll give him after those couple games, and you'll believe that he will perform.
To your point, yes. But it has to be the right spot also. Because you're actually going against actually like Blazers team who's, playing well.
Yeah, they are.
They definitely are playing well. They're winning games. Actually like covering games, like actually crazy. So it's just this spot. They're going to have to – I'm going to make them prove it to me.
And we actually just saw this matchup too, like on the 23rd. So exactly a week ago, 20. Portland won by 101-79.
Yeah. So that's the only point that so far has actually given me pause that I was actually going to say, because when you see that, that actually team that actually got blown out, I actually normally like to back them that actually next time. But I just think on the road, this is just too many points though. So I am going to be on the Blazers here. This is actually going to be a smaller play. But yes, I am going to be on the Blazers.
I respect that. And Joe, Franz was back last game. He dropped 29 points in that double overtime loss to the Heat. So this is his second game back in the lineup.
I also think this is a very interesting time this next week or so, as we are literally a week away from the trade deadline. Magic are a team that are right there. Do they buy? Do they go crazy and buy? Do they take a risk on a rental like a De'Aaron Fox and mortgage the future, pair him, with the young nucleus that they have? Do they stay put? Do they add role players? Do they trade off people? Who knows? Both of these teams are in the same spot for different reasons, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Magic more of a buyers, Blazers probably more of sellers. So I always never really, and I don't know the right answer. If you're a player who maybe in your head you're like, am I on the block? You want to go out there and ball out to show out to go to another team, or does that even matter? I don't know.
I think it weighs heavier on a bad team. So on a good team, you're like, we're probably going to be adding pieces. So if you're one of the guys we're shipping out, you're probably not playing a lot anyway. But on the other side, if you're a heavy player and play a lot of minutes for a guy like the Blazers, like a Jeremy Grant, I think it weighs heavily on your mind a lot more than, let's say, a Paolo or a Fran, because we know they're not going anywhere. But on the other side, Simmons, whatever his name is, any of those guys, they don't know if they're going to get moved or not. So I think it does weigh more on a team like the Blazers rather than a team like a Magic, to your point. All right, JD, looks like everyone in the chat's very happy that you're on the Blazers. Looks like all the boys are going to be riding with you. I'll just go fuck myself. No problem. I'm going to be loud and boisterous either way tomorrow, but especially if the Magic win this game by 35 points, I will be very loud, and I'll be calling out everyone in this chat who has not believed in me. All right, boys. Couple things left we still have to do on this show. First thing we are going to do is go over our Prophet X pick of the day. Boys,
which guys like
lose Prophet X picks of the day.
But actually, what are we going to even do here
for Prophet X pick of the day?
Yeah, because we're on the opposite sides here.
I thought we had agreed on one.
We did, but then the line dropped, so I had to jump in on it.
Well,
all right, I know what to do. I know what to do.
Pipe down there. Pipe down down there. Pipe down there.
I know.
First thing I need to do is share my screen.
Yes, you do. I'm waiting for that.
Don't worry. I know what to do.
Boom! The one I wanted. The Houston Rockets plus 4.5. JD, is this the official play?
Well, I'm on the other side.
So what do you want to do?
So the official play is there is no play. This is the game. Now chat, you have to choose your sides. Good luck.
Okay. Everybody in the comments post who you agree with, me or JD, except for J-Bo and whoever disagreed with me last game. You guys aren't allowed to do it. Joe, you either. I'm just kidding. Put what you guys think.
Because the thing is, on this game though, with actually Prophet X here, it doesn't matter which side you're on, you're actually still going to get the actually better line here. So yeah, it doesn't matter which actually side you're on, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because the Grizzlies I hadn't really planned on being on, but yeah, with the line dropping, I I just have to jump in there.
All right. Well, I like seeing what I'm seeing in the chat. I like it, Joe. Well, Joe's from Houston, so Joe, we love you, brother, but you say Houston every day. J-Bo's Rockets, so we like that. Sangoon did participate in shoot-around. That's big. But on the other side, so did John Morant, the big question mark for the Grizzlies. So, kind of.
All right, guys. Okay, the official play can be your Rockets.
No. We're not all going back to the Rockets play. You know what? Parlay Prince, my freaking guy. JD. I mean, we all agreed on Penn State, didn't we?
We did.
Parlay Prince, you legend.
The money line is way too high now.
Yeah, no, we're looking.
We're gonna lay that's like 3.5.
What else do they have? Do they offer it? What do they got on 3?
3 at -118.
I like that. I like the insurance in case of a 3-point win. So
go ahead. Can you just go one more to 2.5? What's a 2.5? I'm just curious.
All right, you're getting it.
That's really not that bad.
That's why Profit X is the best to try and find this guy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. -2.5 to know that all you got to do is win by 3, and -130 is not too shabby.
All right, JD, what are we thinking? 2.5 as the official Profit X player? You want to do -3?
No, let's do the -3 because on that 2.5, as far as money, there's like really nothing there. So, as far as on -3, you can still get that at -118 or actually -119. I mean, you can, yeah.
There we go. The official play. Thank you, Parlay Prince, for your assist on this one. So this is the official Profit X play of the day, sponsored by Parlay Prince, Alpha Dog Bets, JD from Line Movers, and FA Picks. We're going Penn State, guys. You can see the prices there. You're not going to get better odds anywhere else. And JD, the next thing we have to let them know is how are they going to get all the benefits of joining Profit X? What code do they have to use?
They use code MBM. And that
code
gets you,
MBM.
Yes, and that gets you 2% back on actually every play for your first month. And like I said, that right there really adds up, guys. It like
sure does. Sure does. Make sure you guys take advantage of that promo code MBM. Earn 2% back on every play for 30 days, up to $300 in profit cash, but you have to use promo code MBM. Before we get into best bets, guys, I don't know how many more days we're going to have this sale because January is basically over. So take advantage of the end of January sale. Rumor has it, I can't confirm or deny it, but there's no planned February sale right now. So if you guys want to take advantage of a fantastic promotion, get in the Discord. Come win with us in the VIP. $25 get you in for your first month. Best deal out there to join the best community out there. All right, boys. Well, there's one thing now that we still have to do. I'm a little out of breath. But we are going to go into our best bets of the day for Thursday, January 30th. We're going to start with my guy, Hefe Picks.
I got 3 for you. 2 that we went over. 1 that we didn't. Let's go through college basketball. I'm taking UCLA -4.5. Let's go. Face it off against Oregon. Oh, Oregon. Oh, my God.
Eugene, Oregon is Oregon. That's definitely where you're going with that, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Oregon.
That was that. Moving on to UCLA -4.5. Wow. I'm out. I'm done.
Just take a breather. I will jump. Or JD, you go next. Please give me your best bet.
Sorry. I'm back. Rockets +5.5 is what we added on when we sent it in. Now it's moving. I still do like the Rockets there. I would be hesitant about just taking the Rockets money line, though, as I do think this is a toss-up game that can come down to the last possession. And now the game that we didn't speak about, I'm rolling with the Timberwolves here, -7 on the road against the Jazz. Yes, the Timberwolves are on a back-to-back. Yes, there are some players that are game time decisions as any game when you're playing a back-to-back. But the Utah Jazz are the worst home team in the NBA. 3-16 is their record. They are 3-16 at home. That is unexcusable as an NBA team. The Timberwolves are better than them. Even if players like Gobert don't go, I don't care. Even if Randall doesn't go, I don't care. They could probably beat the Jazz with their backups. The Timberwolves can. -7 is the line. I think as the game gets closer, depending on the game time decisions, it could go one way or the other. But I'm locking it in at 7, and it's one of my favorite plays of the day. Timberwolves have also won 4 in a row.
Love that. I'll jump in here next. Rockets +4.5, the current line in the second pick. Magic -5, -115. JD, close us out. How many best bets you got today?
I was gonna have one, but as far as the graphic, it's gonna show one, and that's not even gonna be a best bet now because the line has moved. Because that was actually like Penn State, but that was them at -145. That is well above that now. So I am not gonna give that out here. But after the show here, going through it, I'm actually going to be giving out these two plays. So let's just give them out to everybody here right now. Give me the Grizzlies. Give me that -4.5 line. I really think this is a Grizzlies spot. If you like the Rockets, I would actually like a first half play on them because they have been a great first half team. So I would not be shocked to see them up at actually halftime, and then the Grizzlies, as the game goes on, come like
That's actually not a bad thought process, especially when, and I think you said earlier in the show, JD, speaking about how the Rockets is their fourth game in 6 days.
Yeah.
Grizzlies, a little bit of a break back home after just getting absolutely slapped on in the Garden. That's a good way to look at it. Is there any way for you to tell us what it is, what that line is?
I can. First half line on the Rockets.
Yeah.
1 second here.
Let's see. I gotta guess that it's
should be around 2.5
+2. Yeah.
2 point +2.5 -108.
Yeah.
Damn.
Don't mind that. But it's Rockets full game.
That would be one where I would look at the Rockets money line.
Yeah, it's -135. It's not that bad.
Do you have Alpha up? Do you have a Rockets first half Grizzlies full game line?
Let me see here.
Oh, a little El Dente mix and match.
Yeah.
Tic-tac-toe.
I'm going to be honest. I don't even know how to find that type of bet. I don't see it here under the halftime plays.
Well, actually trying to find that. My second best bet is going to be the Trailblazers. Give me them at +5.5. The Magic.
I'm going to tell you right now. I think JD wants to fight you, Alpha.
His best bets are the opposite of my two best bets.
I think I speak for the entire chat. I think I speak for everybody who's viewing right now. I think you want to fight him. It's okay.
Make sure you guys lock in for the Jake Paul, Logan Paul undercard between me and JD.
Yes.
We are the undercard main event.
We spoke about this -420 JD under 0.15 seconds.
I'm betting on JD myself. I'll put it that way.
Joe, do you have the actual line, man? I see you said it's in the special section.
Alpha, while you look at that, put Parlay Prince's comment on. I can say something about that actually.
Sure.
So I got you, man. I actually was looking at this game, debating whether to put on my best bets. This isn't. That's funny. That's funny.
Please don't break again.
No, I'm back. Relax.
Take a breath.
Illinois, number 18 ranked team, visiting Nebraska, who is horrible. 6 losses in a row for Nebraska. They average 75 points a game, while Illinois' fast pace averaging 85 points a game. I think it's a good line for Illinois -4.5. I feel like it should be more, which is why I didn't put it on my best bets, because I feel like this is screaming Illinois -6.5, 7.5, even 8.5. So I lean Illinois. This is a piece of maybe I could put them as a money line parlay piece somewhere. With possibly even UCLA, but that's kind of my thoughts on the Illinois game.
I like it. We're getting a little bit of different information here, JD. Josh is saying Rockets first half spread.
Yeah, it looks like
for money lines +205.
It looks like for the money lines, it's at +480.
Yeah, we're saying +480 from everyone here.
And I love a small play there.
Worth a shot.
Wait. So the +480 is Houston money line first half, Memphis spread. Full game?
Huh? Repeat that?
What is J-Bo's +480?
Rockets money line at halftime, Grizzlies to win outright end of the game.
Okay. I got you.
And the other +210 is the Rockets spread for the first half, and then the Grizzlies money line full game. So that's the difference.
That much of a disparity between a +2.5 and a money line?
Yes, because one's a -1, mine's a 120 odds, and the other one's a +145. So it Rockets first half money lines +145, then to cover the spreads -110.
That's nice odds.
It is nice odds.
And on Bovada, it's +450. So
Very good, very good. So there's definitely some value there, guys. You can take it any way you want, but that plus 480 is a pretty big play there. I still think the Rockets get it done, but I don't hate that play. Fellas, get your screenshots. Get your screenshots. Jesus, get your phones out and take your screenshots. Don't look at JD's because apparently that one doesn't count. But if you want to know what his best bets are, take a look at mine and bet the opposite. If you fade my best bets, that is what JD has done today. Fellas, it's been a fantastic show. It's been fun. We've broken down a bunch of games, college basketball, NBA. Some would call today a slow day. We don't. We call today another money-making, profitable day, especially if you take the Rockets. So, fellas, thank you for the great show. Hefe, any parting words for the people before we get the hell out of here today?
Yeah, I do. Tonight at 6:30 on TNT, NBA is announcing the reserves. And if you could tell me, if you could make an argument why Josh Hart should not be a reserve, then you obviously have not been watching NBA basketball this season. There is not a guy. It doesn't matter. There is not a guy who means more to winning to a team that is outside of the box score than Josh Hart. That man deserves to be an all-star.
Yes, I was preaching that all last night watching that Knicks-Nuggets game. The Knicks were unbelievable. Josh Hart was unbelievable in that game. The amount of times he ran back down the court, stole the ball, led a fast break, crashed the board. He's an unbelievable player. I'm with you the same way. I hope he gets the all-star nod.
He is Russell Westbrook in his prime without just the incredible offensive, capabilities, but all the scrappiness. He does all the little things. He doesn't bitch. He accepts his role, and he is the best at that role. And sadly, he can't even be up for sixth man of the year because he starts. If he was sixth man, if he was the first man off the bench, guarantee you he's up for sixth man of the year.
I would agree, but he plays 45 minutes a game, so it's tough for him to be a sixth man.
Joe, Norm Powell can literally sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
There you go, Joe. You got the answer you were looking for. JD.
He's on the West reserves. It doesn't even matter.
That's why I was like, that was a crazy comment, Hefe. That has nothing to do with Josh Hart.
But
we hope you get Norm Powell for your team, Joe.
Last thing I got to say, Norm Powell would be a great Nick. Wow.
I would agree.
Great Nick.
It's a real problem when me and Hefe every day we bring up any player. Gosh, you know what, Hefe? He would be a great Nick. JD, any parting words for the people today besides go Knicks?
Today was just a fun show, guys.
Always is with the three of us. It's always a fun time.
Yeah, man. It was definitely a fun show. And I know like everybody else is definitely running good right now. I'm actually coming off a losing day, so I'm actually looking to bounce back and let's fucking win.
Let's fucking win, man. Hope you guys win all your bets except for the Rockets game or the Magic game if you're on the other side. We thank every single person for being here, as you guys always do. The chat makes this show what it is, and we appreciate you guys. Seriously, we do. Parting words from me today. Rutgers championship is back on after 2 consecutive big road wins. Let's go, Rutgers. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace!